This is the ring that I got. On it is the secret seal of Solomon. The story behind the seal was that King Solomon was gifted a seal from God to help him extract, capture, and command the demons that he was exposed to. And so when I'm working with different meteorites, different space stones, I'm aware that there's energies that I'm gonna be exposed to that is not from this realm. And on the very first day that I wore this ring, I asked, whatever entities or demons that is present, make yourself be known. And I got a name back. In today's episode, I want to talk about demons, working with Palasite, a couple warnings, and how to protect yourself when you're entering this different energy with the meteorites. Are you ready for it? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. So today's episode is going to be a very interesting one. Whether you believe in demons or you don't, I think it's important that you understand what they are, how they show up, and especially if you are already working with extraterrestrial stones, there will be more exposures to these different entities. Okay? The important foundation to start with is, what are demons? So demons are these forms of energy that is supercharged, right? So let's say there's immense fear of someone, maybe someone killing someone, right? There's this, when an emotion is supercharged, it feeds into that fear. And over lifetimes and over different lifetimes, these fears build up. And sometimes these fears, it's stuck in the body or it's passed down through family members, right? So a demon is a large energy that is supercharged, okay? And, if you are in the state of fear, if you see a ghost, or even the word demon, some people may be afraid, or they don't want to learn about it, they don't want to expose themselves to this kind of energy, right? But when you are in fear, you're just going to feed more into these demonic energies, and it's going to help them grow. So how you can overcome it is just be aware of them, learn the tools and techniques to overcome them, not let them affect you, and continue with your journey. Now, regular sage does not work with these demons, right? When you're talking about a large mass of energy that is supercharged, sometimes sage does not work. Okay, so that's the foundation of demons. When you are in fear, the more afraid of them you are, you're gonna feed more into their energy. Now, how did I experience demons, and when was I first started learning about them? Okay, so before, I was kind of like a lot of people who, I actually hate horror movies. I don't like watching horror movies. Even during the time when I started doing clearing entities, right? When I first started with Moldavite, I learned different tools and techniques how to clear negative energies. I never had the urge to learn about exorcism, because I know that if I watch those videos of people getting exorcised, or there's like different, when they say different buildings, different hospitals, different old buildings of ghosts, I would always try to avoid those, because I know that through the screen, this energy can transfer through the screen. Okay? So if you like watching those horror movies or those documentaries or these ghost hunters, that's my word of advice. They may, or they can, transfer through the screen. So my very first awareness of what these demons was when I started working with Palasite. Now, I know you guys have, for those who are tuning in the last couple of episodes, I've been really talking about great things about Palasite. Like, I love this energy. It's my closest connection to source that I felt. But there's also another side you want to be aware of, because these can influence your reality if you're not really aware of what they are. Okay, I've heard Some people say they got sleep paralysis. I heard others say that when they look at photos of Pallasite, they get massive headaches or their stomach really hurts. It just kind of makes them sick to the stomach. Now, I would say, especially when you're even like looking online at different meteorite stones. I know for me, when I start looking at different meteorites, I can only look at for so long, and then like a headache would form. Or I would have my Munyalausta meteorite, it's a cube. When I have it out, people in the house would get headaches. I would get a headache if it's out for too long. Like when it's out, you could feel this surge of energy entering the room. Now, when it comes to Pallasite, I didn't get these ideas and thoughts to even get the pull to learn about demons until I worked with this one piece, a Pallasite. It was a raw piece. The other ones that I have are, most of the ones that you see online has they have an acrylic covering over it, or a resin covering over it to help not let the meteorite rust. So I believe that covering helps contain the energy. Now, when I was working with this raw piece, I keep getting thoughts and ideas, and even my YouTube feed was showing up demon stuff, like King Solomon. I started going down this rabbit hole of King Solomon, and then I started learning about King Solomon and his Seal of Solomon, and then there's 72 demons that King Solomon talked about. And it didn't really click, right, until I put this Pallasite, the raw piece, away. Then the energy just went away. Like I didn't see it on my feeds anymore. And then a couple of days later, I took the piece out again, and all of a sudden my YouTube feed was about demons and King Solomon. And so that was when I first got the hunch, or the knowledge to learn about the Seal of Solomon, which is the ring. Now, I was aware that demons exist, but I just never really had this pull for me to actually learn about it or try to, I thought whatever I've learned so far is enough to release negative entities, but this is on another level of, a next level of negative energy, you would say, like a supercharged. And so I got the Seal of Solomon, right? And again, in the beginning, I mentioned the Seal of Solomon was a seal that was gifted from God to King Solomon to help capture and command these demons, right? Because during this time, he was exposed to different demons that were affecting his people. Now, I remember when I saw this symbol, I felt the energy, so I got the ring. So on the very first day, when I ordered the ring, all of a sudden, like an hour later, the entire neighborhood, there was a power outage for the entire neighborhood. And it was very brief, but it came back on. But I thought, oh, that's such a coincidence. I just got this ring, there's a power outage. And typically when there's a power outage, there's a dissonance in energy, okay? Typically when you purchase something, when there's an energy exchange, right? You use your money to buy something, the energy exchange has already started, right? Energy has started exchanging your energy for the energy of the ring. And so, didn't think too much about it. A week later, the ring came home. And I go get the mail, got the ring, an hour later, another power outage, entire neighborhood. Then it came back on. And typically we don't get power outages that often at all. But all of a sudden, within a week, 2 power outage, the common denominator was this ring. And so I put it on, and I asked this, whatever entity or demon was in the room, make yourself be known. And I got a name. The name was Papado. I don't know too much about this demon. I didn't spend too much time trying to learn about him. What I do know was he came during the winter solstice. So I shared with you guys, during the winter solstice, right? Around that time, I got a staph infection. So this, whatever the staph infection was, it started like a small pimple. It got infected, and just over the next couple of days, it got so big that there was one night it got down to my throat, and I thought if it keeps growing, I may have to go to the ER because it's gonna block my airways. And already I was on antibiotics already, but it wasn't going down. And it was the night before Christmas, and also around that time, my black cat suddenly fell ill. Like he pooped on himself, and like with this really loud yelp out of nowhere, and he stopped eating for 4 days. So same time when I got my staph infection, my black cat suddenly fell ill, and this is a couple days before Christmas. So at that time, I didn't think too much about it. I thought, well, this winter solstice must be really powerful because something happened. Maybe it's a purge. Well, my cat stopped eating for 4 days, and at that point, I got pretty worried. And it was during Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. At that time, it was on his 4th day, and I thought, okay, all the vets are closed. If anything, I have to take them to the emergency room, which I really don't want to have to go down that route. And also, this staph infection was like getting to my throat. I could possibly I could stop breathing in my sleep, right? So I looked at home remedies to treat the staph infection, because the antibiotics is not kicking in yet, or I don't see the swelling going down. And I came across this article that says eat garlic. And at this point, it's like, well, why not? So I started eating a clove of garlic every single day for the whole month. And since the very first day or two, like after eating the garlic, I noticed the swelling went down, like a third went down. And I thought, wow, this is working way faster than antibiotics. And what was crazy is my cat all of a sudden started eating again. After 4 days of not eating, after I started eating garlic, the garlic helps kill whatever bacteria or virus that was in the infection. So here's the thing about your pets, right? Especially like cats are extensions of you. So if they fall ill, or if something is not right, or they're kind of off, notice which area of the body or what they're experiencing, and see what chakra it is correlated to you. Because chances are they're helping you transmute some energy. So at that time, all I knew was like, okay, my cat's sick. Something must have came through during this winter solstice. Now, it wasn't until I think 2-3 months ago when I got I started learning about the Seal of Solomon. And looking back, I realized the demon was an energy vampire. It was a vampire. And vampires are terrified of garlic. And that's when I connect the dots. That demon that came through during the winter solstice was an energy vampire that kind of attached itself to my cat and also me. So by eating the garlic for that past month, I managed to release the energy from my body. Now, the energy vampire was still present in the room, right? It was still, this energy was still present within where I was, my living space. And so this is when the ring came through. And this is when I extract or ask my guides, the archangels, to come down and extract the energy vampire and his followers. And so that was when I first got awareness about, okay, I believe demons exist now, right? I didn't expect a name to come through until I asked. So they're afraid of this seal. And when I do these extractions, I would ask there's typically an angel that they fear. So I would ask the angel to come down, capture and extract these demons, and put them in a black box sealed with the Solomon seal. And that is how I went about on extracting this, the energy vampire, this the entity. So that was my very first awareness of a demon that I actually got a name for. Now, I started going around the house, or every thought I have that, hey, this doesn't feel right, or I actually went back to my different stones and tune in to see which one has like attachments or open portals. And I would go in and I would close these portals and seal it with the Solomon seal. Okay? Again, when you're working on this demons or this energy and vampires, some of these sage is not strong enough. It could be good for like the general energy clearing, but some of these deeper stuff, one, you may need like a stronger person with more connection, more connected to source, where they can bring down this power, this energy. Or you can start learning, clearing yourself as a vessel so that you can align and connect with source. Okay? And so I got that, the seal of Solomon, garlic. For those who are dealing with parasites, viruses, look into garlic, eating a clove a day. It's actually pretty healthy for you. If you're ready for a Palasite. I noticed not all Palasites are the same. If you go online, you will see some that does not have good energy. Some makes me really sad. Some made others feel really sick. And I know another person that actually got sleep paralysis around the same time when she got her Pallasite and also Moldavite, right? So again, when we're working with different extraterrestrial stones, we're exposed to different energies. It's not something to fear. Once you learn the techniques and the tools to how to handle it and not have them influence you, then over time you're gonna able to extract and release them or capture them. Okay. So that is my little spiel on Palasite and the demons. Now I am doing, if you feel called for a Palasite, you can get one through me. Typically how I sell my Palasites is when you can pre-order on my website. So once you pre-order, there's an energetic exchange. I would then go out and look for the Palasite. Now it's very interesting because I did this a couple times. When I look at the Palasite, I didn't see much, but then when someone orders, there's an exchange, and then when I go back to the website, like this new Palasite popped up, right? When our energy starts coming together, I'll go out and I'll tune in to find your Palasite and do the cleansing and extracting of whatever entities that is in the stone. Okay, so that is how I go about my Palasite. Otherwise, if you feel ready, feel called for Palasite, you can go online and look. Just be aware, not all of them have clean energy, especially when you're working with meteorites. Moldavite is, I don't get that much exposure or to demons or these really intense entities until I started working. I noticed this for Palasite and also the Munya Lausta that I got. Okay, so that's one. Now, update on the red thread. So the red thread of fate is also connected to what we are talking, like this all intertwines, right? I noticed on different days, maybe one or two once it comes through, and then I would make them. Yesterday, there was a pair that want to come through. So this one, when I got it out of the rings, out of the bag, these two were intertwined. I think I got about 3 or 4 pairs that came out intertwined. So I believe that these red thread of fate are for the 2 souls. If you believe you're already with your soulmate, then these red threads will be for both of you guys. Okay? So my intention with the red thread, a lot of people would think it's going to help us reconnect with the soulmate. I believe that it's part of the path. When you get in alignment with yourself, then the soulmate will show up. But while you're on that path, this thread is to help you get back in alignment with yourself, your purpose. And this is part of the process. Moldavite is part of the process. And now I believe that Palasite is part of the process. So see if this resonates. I have about 3 pair 2 that I already made, but if you feel called for it, shoot me an email. I haven't uploaded on my website, but I do have individuals that are for sale on the website. Okay. Other than that, I hope this helps. But yeah, any questions, leave a comment below, and then I'll see you for the next episode. Timmy Do, signing off.